GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man JRich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude.
he? How good is Go GMGP. It is Friday. Feel good Friday. Happy Friday. Freak something off Friday if you want to. JRich, that's what you on this weekend?
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
I've heard of Freaky Fridays. I have not heard of Freak Off Fridays.
Freak Off Fridays.
Whoa.
We can't do the Freak Offs on Friday, baby. Hold on, man. Record scratch. We appreciate each and every eye, each and every year in the building, man. We got the crew in the building. It's Friday. We're going to have a damn good time. We got to talk some Cardinals, Seahawks. Big games in college football this weekend. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Penn State, Oregon. JRich. We got some football, baby. We got some football. And I do have to say, happy early birthday to Mrs. GQ. She was in the building early. She left me, JRich. She is on the plane to California.
Happy birthday.
She left me.
Oh, is she?
I'm home.
Where's she going?
She's going to parlay. Going to parlay with the girls. I'm home with the kids, baby. So shout out to wifey. Have a safe flight.
Let's go.
We got Ricky in the building. Marlon, Sam, Todd Claire saying a small over today. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We've had to expedite the show a little bit this week, but we got a little bit of time today. Jay Sully, GMGP to you. Ricardo, appreciate you being here. Yeah, Marlon. But JRich said no freak-offs today. No freak-offs on the show today. Gretchen, how are you doing this morning? Jay Grizz was popping with you. Vince in the building. Daniel Perry, Todd Claire, and Savage, Lee Savage in the building. Shout out to Savage Score, man. Savage Fantasy Football. Appreciate you, Lee, being in the building all the way late night in Australia. JRich, I'm going to give you a little more time today. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, it was a fun game last night. I was excited. Obviously, I got some trade offers, right? I don't know if you expected this. What do you think I got offered for Marv yesterday?
Yeah, before or after the game?
It was right around halftime.
Probably QJ. Probably QJ from Marv.
Way too high.
What'd you get offered?
I got offered a 26th third round pick straight up for my Marvin Harrison Jr.
A 26th third?
Straight up. And I was like, and what's funny is this is a league where I picked up Keenan Allen off the waiver wire.
Oh,
in
damn.
One QB.
Did you accept it? It's a real question. Did you take that deal,
No.
JRich? Yeah.
No, I did not take that deal.
Good thing you did.
That deal.
Good thing you did not. Good thing you did not. Yeah, we appreciate everybody being in the building, man. We're just going to vibe out, talk about football this weekend. We got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. And then, of course, the Thursday night football game. We got to talk a little Marvin Harrison Jr., figure out which brand and vehicle, make, model, style of car he is today, because I still don't know if he's back to Maserati Marv. I still don't know, JRich, if we can give him Gus Johnson's Maserati Marv, but fourth quarter, 4 catches, 42 yards, touchdown, much better than the way that game started. But quickly, any injury news that we need to hit on that's super relevant. I did see Chris Godwin was at practice, full participant, I think, and he may play this weekend.
Yeah, it seems like he's trending towards playing. I got a few limited practices in. The biggest ones, honestly, are still... Let me scroll down here. I'm going through the injury report. So Terry McLaurin didn't practice. Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt didn't practice. And I don't believe we've seen Jaden Daniels practice either. So he did get a limited participation in on Thursday. But at the podium on Wednesday, he did say that the biggest thing for him is going to be whether the doctors clear him or not.
You talking about Jaden?
Injuries
talking about JD?
For Jaden, yeah.
Yeah.
For JD, yeah. It's whether the doctors will clear him or not. But yeah, Terry and Bill both haven't practiced yet. I don't know if anyone's banking on Tennessee, but Tennessee has a ton of injuries right now. Kevin Zietler's injured, J.C. Latham's injured. A lot of guys on that offensive line may not be playing in this one. Yeah, you kind of talked about it. Tristan Wirfs did also log a full participation in practice yesterday, so he's probably going to play in this game along with Chris Godwin. Not practicing, but potentially going to play. Still no word over whether Mike Evans is going to go on IR. Seems like he's probably not. But outside of that, I haven't seen anything crazy. The big one, like we kind of talked about on BR before the show, is whether or not we do see Brock Purdy play.
Yeah,
or Matt
Purdy.
Jones in that game against Jacksonville. That's one of the bigger ones we're still monitoring. But outside of that, I can't think of anything else that's major that will affect a whole lot for fantasy purposes. A lot of smaller injuries, offensive line, defensive stuff. Those are kind of the big ones overall. Hoping Christian Gonzalez plays, but he's still iffy over whether or not he's going to play this week for the Pats.
All right. Yeah. I see Waffle House saying Godwin is a trap this year, just walking through plays in regards to Chris Godwin. We kind of talked about it last week. My expectations for Godwin, even if he plays, they're just low. And you didn't mention the Aiyuk news that Kyle Shanahan said that he's nowhere close to being ready to play. You didn't mention
Lynch,
that.
Actually.
Was it Lynch?
I think it was Lynch, who said he's nowhere close to being available yet. And then no one really knows what that means, right? What does close mean and how soon is he going to be back? But I think even with Aiyuk, like he's been a bench stash for a long time and we don't really know when he's going to be back. It's not a positive report. People thought maybe he could be back sooner rather than later. It seems like it's going to be later, probably into November or December by the time he's finally back.
Yeah, my stance on that has been the same all year. These guys that are coming back from serious injury the season prior, my expectations are just low. Coming back from an ACL, broken ankle, all of that. I wasn't drafting a lot of Brandon Aiyuk in the first place just because he was, coming back from the ACL tear. So we'll see how that goes. But, the opportunity is there for Ricky Pearsall if he's not there. Ricky's the only ticket in town. Him and Juwan Jennings, Johnson is in New Orleans, but him and Juwan Jennings
and DeMarcus Robinson got activated too. He was activated because he's now off suspension and eligible to play, so he should be playing for the 49ers in this game as well.
Addison is back too. Addison is back from his 3-game suspension as well. JRich, he is
Addison's
back.
Also back, eligible for the Dublin game.
Eligible for that game. All right, well, let's talk Seattle. Let's talk Seahawks and Cardinals. JRich, the over-under in this game, the total was 43.5 points, and Vegas nailed it once again. 43 points. Somehow they seem to get that thing right a lot of times, JRich. But the Seattle Seahawks improve to 3-1 on the season. Sam Darnold getting it done for those Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, JSN got it going a little later in the game. And it was the other side of the ball. 2 interceptions from Kyler going in a half. Like this Arizona offense seemed broken, battered, bruised, confused. They didn't know what to do. No James Conner in the game. They had to turn to second-year running back Trey Benson.
Not a lot of opportunity, but didn't do a whole lot with it either.
You could just kind of tell watching players like, oh, there's something there. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I know Jimbo's in the chat. He's beamed up for Benson. I'm watching him, Jay. He didn't touch the ball at all in the fourth quarter. And what did I say on the show about Demercado? I was like, I bet you there's going to be a lot of Demercado out there. Who scored the touchdown? He looked better than Benson.
4 touches.
He looked better than Benson. Benson didn't look good to me. Benson didn't look good. I was not impressed. I wasn't impressed, Jay. He was running tentative,
I disagree with
hesitant.
You. He made some.
They
plays
put
out
Michael
there,
Carter
right?
in the game. They put Michael Carter in the game, dude. I
Probably
wasn't impressed.
Pass pro, right?
Get him out of there.
Because he's
I'm good.
More established running back. But yeah, it's you could say Demercado looked better. He caught the touchdown. Obviously, the play was wide open. So credit to the scheme just as much as the player for getting that one to the end zone. They're both fine, right? It's going to be a rotation in Arizona. Don't expect Benson to be the guy. Obviously, don't expect Demercado or Carter to be the guy. It's going to be a rotation overall, and it's not one that I'm necessarily looking for because, frankly, this offense isn't very good. It's McBride. It's Harrison when he's good, and we'll see what we get from Kyler week to week. But Seattle's defense is very good. Like, I know that a lot of you guys didn't watch the BR piece that we did for this game, but my whole thing coming in was Mike McDonald's defense is very strong. He's always played very well against Kyler. They went 2-0 against Kyler last year. Kyler only threw 2 touchdowns and 3 picks in those games. So it's like Kyler doesn't play against his defense very well, and they play very well against him. They figured it out late, but for the first 3 quarters of the game, they really struggled, and it wasn't until the end they finally got going, and it wasn't enough for them to come back and win this game.
Yeah, he just I'm seeing people I'm peeping people say that just Jay, they're saying that your volume is low. I don't think his volume is low. I think his voice is low. Then. No, I got you turned all the way up. I think you're just a little quiet today.
Mine's as high as it normally is.
I think your voice. I
think as high as I
are you sick? Tell the truth, man. You sound like you're a little under the weather. Are you? I saw you take your allergy medicine before. You sound a little congested. You sound.
I can bump it up if you want.
Yeah, there you go.
I try not to.
No, there you go.
Crazy with it.
No, okay. You did. Yeah, that's better. Now the people will stop bitching on Friday about your volume. I mean it. You know, thank you, Slayer. That's what I'm saying, man. We must have some old people in here because, oh my God, I can't hear. I'm like, it can't be that low. Like it can't be that low. Now I can hear you swallow.
If they want me to blow your ears out, then
it's making
I can do that.
I can hear you swallow, and it's uncomfortable slightly. So this is what the people want. This is what the people want, Jay. I saw Gretchen in the chat saying I should have sold my Benson for a second before the game. Probably. Because you're probably not getting anything more than that. Ain't nobody giving you a first for him. I just was unimpressed. We'll see how he looks in week 2. Here's the thing. He's going to get runway because James Conner's out for the season. So say what you want about Benson. Let's talk about Kyler. What'd you think about Kyler? What'd you think about Kyler in the game, man? What were your thoughts on Kyler Murray?
I feel like every week he plays, I want to just come on this show and just dog him.
Really?
But he played all right. He's
41
he
pass
attempts.
Duress. 41 pass attempts, man. He was 27 for 41, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked 6 times. JRich led the team in rushing. A lot of pressure, 41 rushing yards for Kyler.
I thought he handled the pressure reasonably well. There was some, bad plays here or there. One of the picks, it was like, I don't know if it was his fault, the receiver's fault. There was no receiver in the area. Second one, obviously, was Marv's fault. It went right off his hands into the defender's hands. It's the same story for me with Kyler where he's a fine quarterback, and I still think the potential is always going to be there, but for whatever reason, this offense just doesn't look good enough. And he's not good enough to take this offense to a higher level than we've seen it be. So that's where I don't really know what to do with Kyler. I think he's just a decent quarterback who's got some legs, and it really does help him in these types of situations where he's getting blitzed constantly.
I'm watching the game, and we're not talking fantasy football. We're not talking dynasty value. Like Sam Darnold seems like he just operated the offense better than Kyler, and maybe that's due to the fact that he doesn't have, maybe Kyler doesn't have the right weapons around him. Maybe it is because of the running game. Maybe it is they need another wide receiver opposite of Marvin Harrison Jr. But I don't know. He always leaves me kind of wanting a little bit more. Every week, there's just like a little bit more, that I want to see. And I see people saying, oh, it was one game on a short week. Don't panic on Benson. He's not valued high enough to panic or not panic on. You just react to what you saw, and he didn't look good. He didn't look good to me. Maybe he looked good to you, but he didn't look good to me. No wiggle, no kind of make you miss. He looked like a run-of-the-mill average running back that could tote the rock and nothing special. Nothing.
He looked like a backup that's filling in for a starter.
He looked like
a gets out for the season, right?
He looked like a backup running back to me. He looked like a backup running back. Let's talk about Marv, though. Let's talk about Marvin Harrison, because the roller coaster from Marv was exactly that. It was quite low for 3 quarters. He didn't look good, JRich. He did not look good. Dropping passes, he and Kyler were not on the same page. Route concepts, the interception was 100% on him. It was reminiscent of George Pickens last week versus Chicago, dropping the pass that led to an interception. The Boo Birds were damn near out for Marv, dude.
They were out early,
did the fourth quarter and his 4 receptions for 40 yards, does that give you, do you feel better moving forward? Do you feel this was it? My bad. Do you feel this was it?
This feels very similar to kind of what we got from A.J. Brown in week 3. And this is, again, they're different players, different offenses, different everything. But for the longest time, we've said, when is A.J. Brown finally going to deliver for fantasy? When is he finally going to do something? And Marv did have a pretty decent week 1. He caught that long pass. Then he obviously scored the touchdown. Week 2, nothing really special there. Week 3, kind of the same. Then this game, it was started off very similar. They get him that first pass early on in the bubble. He gets a couple of yards. Okay, they're going to get Marv going early, and we're confident about that. Then all of a sudden, he's dropping passes. He's running the wrong routes. He's not on the same page as Kyle. You're like, man, why does it feel like these guys just can't get it together? And then when everything is kind of going to shit, they're in comeback mode, and there's nothing left to do but just rip it on both sides, that's when he finally showed up. And I think, especially going into next week, if you have Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't think you're any more confident starting him, but this is kind of who he is, right? You guys talked about it on Trinity. It's not that he's a bad receiver, but the offense isn't very good. So even though his scores look good relative to other players, the offense isn't good enough to where you're going to be confident starting him every single week. His, 7.5 is not the same as Quentin Johnston's 7.5 because the receivers and the offenses they play in are drastically different, right? You look at Marv, 6 for 66 and a touchdown on 10 targets. Kyler threw the ball 41 times. That's going to be a slightly under a 25% target share. More than acceptable for a player like Marvin Harrison Jr. So I think you look forward and you say, is he going to be a guy you want to start every week? Probably not. But if you do start him every week, I don't think he's got the highest ceiling, but he's probably going to be more than fine. He just feels like a guy who's probably a low-end wide receiver 2, can get you 5 for 50, and if he scores, he's in that high-end wide receiver 2 category, and if he doesn't, he's probably closer to a wide receiver 3, low-end wide receiver 2, depending on the week. And I think that's just what Marv is. He's a fine receiver with a moderate range of outcomes, not an overly high ceiling, and as long as the targets are there, probably has a respectable floor.
That's a really good take. I don't have anything to... I just went back to look at the 24 draft class. There were 5 wide receivers drafted in round 1. Or 6. You had Leggett, Pearsall, Worthy, Brian Thomas Jr. I don't want to include Brock Bowers. Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, and Marv. So 7 first-round receivers. Screw dynasty value. Screw the value dynasty-wise. Like, if you had to re-rank those 7 receivers right now, would Marv still be? Because you got to think, Brian Thomas Jr. is not playing well either. Worthy hasn't played at all this season. Pearsall's, they're flashes.
He's, I think, top 5 in receiving, man. He's playing pretty well.
He's playing pretty well, but I think we still want to see a little bit more. Leggett probably not up there. And then, how would you re-rank these 2024 wide receivers today? Like, how do you think this would go?
So how do you want me to rank them? Do you want me to rank them based off their talent? Do you want me to rank them based off of their situation, how they're playing right now? Give me
full
your
package, full package, man. Just gut feel. I don't want to restrict you in any way, but if you were redrafting, give me the top 5 from that round, from round 1. Give me the top 5 from round. Let's go. Neighbors is 1. Neighbors is 1. Yeah, correct.
So Neighbors is 1. BTJ is still number 2.
You would still
take. Can you give me the list again? But I would have BTJ is number 2 for sure.
Here's the list. You've got Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Brian Thomas Jr., Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Leggett.
Okay, so Rome is going to be 2. But it's be Neighbors, Rome, then Brian Thomas. That's definitely your top 3. I'm tempted to say Pearsall is 4 because Pearsall looked good at the second half or the end of last season. Once again, rolling that into a good start to this season. I think I'm pretty confident putting him at 4. I think Marv is probably still 5, though. Like, is there anyone that you'd make the case for? Because Leggett's obviously you're not making the case for Leggett.
No. You want to make it for Worthy, but we just haven't seen him play. Like, we saw him play last year, but I think people are still hesitant.
You could put Worthy at 5. The difference really is the quarterback, right? Like, say what you want about the talent and the players. It just depends on how you want to rank them. But you can easily put Worthy at 5 and Marvin at 6.
Jason said, D-Bro, you're not taking Pearsall over Rome. Stop it, man. D-Bro, come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Jason says, worth including Ladd in the conversation. Throw Ladd in there. Would you take right now everything that's going on in Los Angeles, Ladd right now or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I'm taking Ladd. I think Ladd's the better player. Like, I think that's just the truth. I think Ladd is the better player.
I think Marv is good, man. I do think he's a good football player. He's not. I saw Joe put in the chat with the air quotes. He's just not. He's not this generational.
No.
Here's what they probably need to. They probably need to draft another body. They probably need somebody else. Jay,
they need a real number one. Is what they need. Everything Marv did was out of the slot. It was slot fade after slot fade after slot fade. That's Devontae Smith basically. That's not. And I love Devontae Smith. He's a great receiver, and I think he could play outside better than Marv can. But like he was doing the kind of stuff you see Devontae Smith do successfully in that Eagles offense, is run those slot fades, catch those contested passes, sideline stuff. But Marv kind of needs that slot to give you the two-way go, right? So you have the options and you keep the cornerback guessing rather than knowing he doesn't really have the juice to cut outside and hit an out route on you because he doesn't ever do that.
Okay, D-Bro said he was tearing them. Okay, all right. Hey, D-Bro, D-Bro, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But no, Pearsall's looked great. I think his last 5 games, he's gone over 100 yards, 4 of his last 5 games dating back to last season. And who they get this week? Yep. Jacksonville? On paper, it's a tough defensive matchup. On paper, the Jags
playing much better. Yeah.
On paper, the Jags defense is playing much better. At Travis Hunter out there on the defensive side of the ball, I think Marv is okay. I think he's okay.
Yeah, Pearsall is 3rd in the NFL in receiving, behind Puka and JSN. JSN's obviously at 1 because he's played an extra game, but Pearsall's still in the top 3. He's got more than Neighbors, more than Chase, and obviously more than everybody else.
Hey, quickly, what is Seattle doing with the rushing attack? How the hell does Kenneth Walker look so good running the ball, and then they get down to the goal line, they take his ass out. Get out, put Charbonnet in, let him. Charb's almost had 2 touchdowns if it wasn't for a JSN holding call. Why are they doing K9 like that, man? Why are they doing Kenneth Walker like that? He's doing all the hard lifting, the heavy lifting on the ground, and they get down in the money zone and they put Charbs in.
I think for me, after watching that game, the reason why you do something like that is because you see Walker lose too many yards.
He does lose
often, right? Like it's different. There's one thing to get stuffed at the goal line. It's another to lose 5 or 6
You're talking about the play where
plays.
he did a spin and like ran. Come on, man.
Right? It's like I think with Charbonnet, he takes what's given to him and he can sometimes get you a little bit extra. And he's not going to be as variable in kind of the moves.
Everybody's agreeing. Everyone's agreeing with you. Everyone's agreeing. K9 is the best at going backwards 6 yards after contact. Y'all got to stop, man. Y'all gotta stop it.
He's acting like he's Barry Sanders out there sometimes.
Come on, man.
Just take what's given. And I think that's where Charbonnet is a little bit more consistent in that way as a goal line back.
The people are on your side early. JRich, that K9 running backwards a little too much. JSN wasn't a big day for him. Only 5 targets in the game. I thought Elijah Arroyo should have caught that. That was a dime. Sam Darnold on the play action, kind of rolling opposite body.
On the Josh Sweat play?
He handed it off to Arroyo. He should have caught that ball for a touchdown. But I kind of like what we're seeing from the tight ends. AJ Barner got in the end zone. Barner season over there. I like the big man touchdown that he does. I like that shit that Barner does. This was an entertaining game. It was an entertaining game. Well, it was fine. It was, when you almost get bonus football, the drive back.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a stat today, and then we'll end right here, that Sam Darnold, his comeback drives are like and I saw Mahomes' name on fourth quarter winning drives. So Sam Darnold making good on his. Maybe those Vikings should have kept that Sam Darnold, huh?
Well, look, man, look.
I'm trolling. All right, Jay, let's get to some of the big games this weekend. Where do you want to go? What do you want to talk? I just want to ask this question, man. Can I just ask the question? Do you think there's a chance, and we'll be brief here, because this is a 9.5 point spread. Is there a chance that Cleveland catches Detroit sleepwalking here? I kind of want to take the points that this Cleveland defense is good enough to make life a little bit of hell for Jared Goff in Detroit. Now, they're playing at home. Goff is in the dome. He's at home. But I was really looking at this game, and I'm like, man, this Cleveland defense is for real. And if Judkins can run the ball, right, can they play keep away enough to keep this thing close? Do you think they could cover the spread in this one? 9.5 points.
I think they can, although I personally wouldn't bet it. It's just not a situation I think is very good for.
I'd said sprinkle. That this could be like that. Just
okay, now you're just.
Is that too much?
Look, guys,
is that too much?
You missed the boat. It was last week, right? The Browns did it already. You don't want to bet on the Browns covering spreads like this, especially to win the money line 2 weeks in a row. The biggest thing here, and I wanted to pull this up quickly. Let's see if we can. Too quick enough. But surprisingly, when we were doing some research for BR yesterday, Detroit is actually number 2 in the NFL in EPA defensively in terms of stopping the run, right? So number 1 is Tampa Bay. Number 2 is Detroit, surprisingly enough, right? They're not a team that I necessarily look to as a very successful run defense, but they are playing much better than they have last season already to start the year. So I'm not saying the Judkins can't do some things, but definitely it's a tougher matchup than I initially projected. And so if we don't think that Flacco can do anything, which he never can, and it's a very tough matchup for Judkins, I'm not sure if I want to bet on them covering that spread because it's going to solely rely on Judkins. So that's exactly how they beat the Packers. It was just 100% Judkins, a little bit of Flacco here or there. It's not necessarily a bet that I would make personally. I'm not going to do that 2 weeks in a row, especially with Detroit playing at home.
Okay. Well, that's. I just wanted to ask. There are a couple of people that the Browns defense is.
The defense is good.
Browns defense is good. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. Jay, I was listening to the Talking Heads on Big TV talk about this game today. I'm feeling good. I think Philly's passing attack continues to roll in this game. I really do.
They have to.
They have no choice, right? And Todd Bowles in this defense, they're going to blitz a crazy amount, force a lot of pressure. I saw this morning a stat that this is Saquon Barkley's second fewest total rushing yards through 3 games of his career. He's got 94 rushing yards, second fewest through 3 games in his career right now. We haven't really talked about Saquon Barkley. I think we just give him credit for how great he was last year and the fact that he has scored touchdowns this year. So he has not shit the bed for you completely, but he has not been 101 in redraft. He hadn't. And they were saying, well, this is Philly's plan. Like they want to keep him fresh for the long run, for the playoff run, for a Super Bowl push, but second fewest yards through 3 games in his career for Saquon. So Philly, Tampa Bay, I mean, we're fully in on Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith in this passing game going into Tampa Bay this week?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of already hit on it. The biggest thing with Tampa Bay is they have the number 1 rush defense on an EPA per play basis in the NFL. So if Philly is smart, they will just drop back and pass the whole game because they're a slightly below average pass defense per drop back, and they are the best rush defense on a per rush basis. So if you're an offense coordinator, that should be your game plan. Your game plan should be not to say forget the run, but you're already not having a ton of success right now running the football. Your guards are kind of banged up. And with the way this defense plays, you probably should just focus more on the passing game. And especially for a team like Philly that struggled to throw the football until the second half of last week, why not get that passing game going? Get the spirits of your wide receivers lifted a little bit. Use Jalen Hurts to his complete capacity, not just as a handoff type of guy the whole game. I'm skeptical over whether or not Philly can commit to just throwing the football because it's the smart football decision, right? When you just look at the numbers, you say, if you're attacking this defense, you should do it through the air. But even with that, I'm not confident Philly's necessarily going to do that, but we'll see. I hope they do because I think they'll be much more successful if they do so. And I do think they can crush Tampa Bay. Like Tampa Bay's getting some players back, but they're very banged up. And with how good this Eagles team is, I think they could beat them fairly handily even on the road. But I think being on the road, they'd be a bit more conservative. Once again, they run the football kind of just right into the teeth of that defense consistently. But we'll see. Hopefully they air it out a little bit more.
Keegan is on one early. Shout out to Keegan. He is featured in the comment section of this show. He said Tampa Bay is putting belt to ass versus Philly. Belt to ass. JRich, what do you think? What do you think about that?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, man. Like, for everything this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is, they've kind of limped their way to 3 wins, right? Like, the Jets win wasn't easy, and if they're as good as we think they are, and I think they're a pretty good team, like, it probably should have been a little bit easier for them. Now, there was some mistakes there, but, yeah, like, Philly's the best team they've played by far, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think they are really banged up. So it just depends on how good Wirfs can be and the capacity to which he can play. But like as you said, we're not expecting a ton from Godwin here. And Mike Evans obviously is going to be active. So it's Ibuka and whatever else you get from the receivers. And Baker's been under a lot of duress this season. So if he can manage that, then it'll probably be fine. But if he can't and it's too much because his Philly defense is really strong, then it may just be too much for this team to overcome.
JRich, the hopium from the chat is just at a fever pitch, man. Look at Breece Hall to Kansas City. People want those Chiefs to trade. And then I get on there. I'm like, is this real news? And I think it's just, look at this shit. They've got Kansas City with an image of Kamara, Breece Hall, and Achane. They're just going to trade for. These teams are just going to send Kansas City Achane, Breece Hall, or Alvin Kamara. First and foremost, do you think Kansas City trades for a running back? I don't think so.
I think they probably should.
I didn't ask. There's a lot of things that should happen. Do they do it? I think you think they trade for a big time running back? Do you think they trade for a Breece Hall, a Kamara, a Achane? Like I don't even. Like is this even
Kamara is the
plausible?
Guy that probably makes the most sense, right? The hard part I think with Kamara is the contract because he does have a really big contract, and it's whether or not that can kind of work out. But him or Breece Hall would probably be the two candidates. I don't know how they're going to trade for Achane. Like, imagine what it would cost to get Achane off the Miami Dolphins. He's going into his third. He's on his third season right now. So it's Kamara for me. Kamara's the guy that you trade for. He's old. He's expensive. It wouldn't cost you a lot if you could make it work from a cap perspective. The Saints obviously don't need him, and he's going nowhere. So he's the easy guy to trade for, I think, depending on how it works from the financial aspect. But yeah, that for me is the guy. And that's what they need. They need someone that can catch passes out of the backfield.
This is who they would trade. They'd trade for like a Sean Tucker. They're not trading for no damn Kamara or Breece Hall or Achane. It would be, if they did it, I guarantee it'd be something like this. It'd be clearance rack.
Do you think Sean Tucker costs more than Alvin Kamara?
No.
It'd be close.
Tucker's
cheap, man.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. They'll trade for somebody like that.
Kamara be cheap too because he's got like a $20 million contract. Not $20 million, but he's getting paid a lot of money.
I don't think they're. Listen, all of this shit looks good, but it's just like the Lakers. I think I put it in the chat. Any free agent, just Photoshop a Lakers jersey on them, and then this team is going to trade for him. I think Kansas City is going to continue to roll with who they have, and people keep asking about that Brashard Smith. I just, Jay. I'm not optimistic that he's going to get real meaningful touches in that backfield. I'm just not.
No.
He
gets a couple a game, probably should. He is dynamic, but it's not like he's earned more opportunity on the field quite yet.
Yeah, I'm not. My hopes are not high. Let's talk Baltimore, Kansas City. This one is interesting to me. So we picked opposite. I said that the Baltimore Ravens would win. Bleacher Report. You make sure you follow us over there. But I had the Baltimore Ravens winning, and you thought I was just absolutely insane for picking Baltimore over Kansas City. They're favored on the road. I can't remember the last time Kansas City, they were not favored at home. Like, I cannot recall the last time they have been home dogs going into the game. 48.5-point total in this one. JRich, along with Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry's been kind of stank too. He saved us because he scored, right? He's ripped off some long runs. He scored, but by and large, this Ravens defense is awful. I mean, awful, Jay. They've got Roquan and Kyle Hamilton and Matabuke, and they drafted Mike Green and Humphrey and yada, yada, yada. Nate Wiggins. The defense stinks. Absolutely putrid. So you've got a shit offense versus a shit defense, and when you put those things together, you get a truck stop restroom. Right? It's just going to be dirty all the way around. So you just got to find the clean stall. You got to find the cleanest one and hover. How are you feeling about this one? How are you feeling about this Chiefs offense that's about to get back Xavier Worthy, we think? This Baltimore Ravens offense that, I mean, at times it looks freaking unstoppable, but the defense is just bend and spread. You could have it any way that you want. Like, who wins this game and who balls out? I wrote a piece on Yahoo that dropped yesterday. I think Tyquan Thornton is still very viable. I do think that he's still going to be a part of the offense this week. and the matchup is not daunting. I love it. This Baltimore defense likes to give it up. Jay, where are we at with this one? It's a 3 o'clock game. It's a 3 o'clock game, afternoon.
Yeah, so this one is going to be fun, right? And this is where we disagreed, I think, is that I don't think the Chiefs are going to have any trouble scoring on this Ravens defense because the Ravens defense just isn't very good. And I trust the KC defense more so to stop the Ravens than the Ravens to stop the Chiefs. And that, for me, is a differentiator. You see the 48.5 point over-under. I'm curious whether it's going to go over-under. I tend to lean under still. I think these teams just know each other so well. I think the Ravens offense is going to do some things, but I still don't know if Derrick Henry is not broken, but like still going to struggle in this game, or if he can kind of get loose against the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs' rush defense, we know is strong, but it hasn't played quite to the level we expected from them so far. You look to them, they're 12th in dropback EPA, and then they're way down there. They're They're 29th in rushing EPA defensively, right? So not much better than the Ravens. So this is a game that Derrick Henry can certainly exploit. At least we should expect that from this Ravens team, but it's whether or not they actually do. And so for me, it's just I trust the Chiefs to score on this Ravens defense, and I trust the Chiefs defense to stop the Ravens more often than the Ravens will stop the Chiefs. I think it'll be very, very close, but ultimately the Chiefs will win a very close game.
Listen, one of these quarterbacks for the first time will be 1-3. Neither of them have started an NFL season 1-3, and that's going to be a guarantee after Sunday that either if we came into the season, I said Baltimore was going to start the season 1-3, like nobody would believe that. Like this is supposed to be a Super Bowl contending team, but honestly, like if you're ranking the teams in the AFC, how could Baltimore be like their defense is so bad? And I don't understand how. I don't understand how when you've got one of the top linebackers, you've got what some people call the best safety in the NFL. Marlon Humphrey, he's not an elite corner anymore, but him and the combination Nate Wiggins, Shinobi Awuzie, Matabuke up front, I know they don't have a lot of pass rush, but man, to be as bad as they are, like Kansas City better get it rolling here. This feels like a get-right kind of spot for both offenses. It feels like it.
For sure, and I think the crazy part is just how much the AFC as a whole has underperformed to start the season, right? Ray, there's only 6 teams in the AFC right now with winning records.
Hold up, say that again?
Crazy.
Say that again?
There's only 6 teams in the NFL right now with winning records, and one of them is the Indianapolis Colts at 3-0. Right? So you look to, obviously, the Bills have a winning record. We didn't necessarily expect it from the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers have a winning record. They probably shouldn't. Now, they would just go to the Patriots, so not really a big difference there. And the Jags have a winning record at 2-1. But you got the Ravens at 1-2, the Broncos at 1-2, the Chiefs at 1-2, and then you have, obviously, Cleveland, New England, the Raiders, teams
I'm looking at it
to be in that realm, versus the AFC, who has 10 teams with 2 or more wins this season.
The NFC,
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it balances out, but I'm
AFC
not saying that
stinks.
The balance of power.
The AFC kind of stinks,
now, right? They're beating up on each other. Right now, and it's interesting because we always view the AFC as a stronger conference, especially because of the quarterbacks, right? But the NFC right now is playing very, very well, and it helps when you have Seattle at 3-1, San Francisco at 3-0, Tampa at 3-0, Philly at 3-0, right? Like it's very, very interesting the way things are shaking out. So
again, the teams in the AFC above 500: Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Indianapolis. And they got Buffalo and Los Angeles.
And we don't even view those teams as good teams, right? Like, there's no way Cincinnati should have a winning record because they haven't played very well this season. Jacksonville, okay, their defense been much improved, and Pittsburgh, absolutely not. Like, they've been dreadful offensively.
Pittsburgh, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, man, this is, AFC's got to get together. Here's the thing. One of these teams, Kansas City or Baltimore, they're going to be 1-3 to start the season, which is just...
They'll be down there with the Texans.
They'll be down there with the Texans.
One of those teams is going to be 1-3.
Somebody from the Texans and Titans got to get a dub, and then you've got the Jets and the Dolphins.
Also,
Jets
one
and
of them going to be a 1-3.
Hey, quick trivia, because we just did this yesterday, and then we'll go to break. JRich, let's ask the chat. When was the last time the Jets beat the Dolphins on Monday Night Football? JRich, Jets over the Dolphins Monday Night Football. I know you know the answer. I wonder if anybody in the chat knows. Wonder
Do
if
you
anybody
remember the full answer? Because the answer was hilarious.
I do. I remember. Because it was hilarious. I kind of remember. Yeah, I remember most of the answer. Let's see. Last time that took place, somebody said 1978, 1998. Keegan is close. Patrick said 2009. You'd be if this was the Price is Right. You went over. This was the Jay Grizz. You're too far back. You're too far back. Trick question. Never. Mark Sanchez. No. JR Enterprise and Adam Zaff. Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback in the year 2000. JRich, it was an overtime game. I think it was 40-37, and a damn offensive tackle caught the game-winning touchdown. Jumbo Elliott caught the game-winning touchdown. Yeah, it was the Testaverde Monday Night Miracle back in 2000. So we are close to the 25-year
That was the funniest thing
anniversary.
You're reading off the answer. You're like, it was the Monday Night Miracle.
Miracle, man. Jumbo Elliott, baby. Jumbo Elliott. None of y'all remember that Jumbo Elliott. JRich, how old were you in 2000? How old were you in year 2000?
Likely 6.
Wow.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Probably 6, though.
Patrick said I was in kindergarten. Wayne Corbett. Yeah, Wayne Corbett was good. All right, we're going to break. We'll get back. We'll talk some more football. Hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, comment below. We'll be back with more. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, subscribe. Check out DDFFB, Trust the Trinity, DDFantasyFootball.com. Jump in the community, Patreon.com/allgas. You get like a discount if you do an annual membership over there. Sign up for the Heisman. That is where you want to be. JRich, let's keep going, because one of the games that I think this is going to be another fruitful one for fantasy football, and we will finally see the return on those Ashton Jeantys this weekend.
Ooh.
Bears-Raiders, man. Bears-Raiders, JRich. I think we're going to get a scoring bonanza in this game, because the Raiders, hey, they just want to throw that. They want to throw the ball downfield. Bears, awful at generating pressure, no pressure. They're one of the worst teams at generating pressure up front. So this very bad and inconsistent Raiders offensive line won't have to deal with as much. And like, both of these teams are bad defensively. Like, both of them are bad. The Raiders aren't good. The Bears aren't good. I think this is one where, dude, there are starts galore in this matchup. I think we're going to get a bunch of points. Jeanty's going to deliver. Caleb Williams keeps it going. Is Trey Tucker really going to be a thing? I'll just say this. The matchup on both sides of the ball looks really good for the fantasy assets in this game.
Yeah, it certainly does. I think the problem is who do you start, or who do you feel confidence in starting? You're starting Caleb Williams. Would you start Geno Smith, right? Is the big question for me. Is Geno, for everything I think he can be, he is the ultimate roller coaster. We talk about Marv. Man, Geno can legit give you 120 and 4 picks, or 300.
Let me ask you real quick, and this isn't a would you rather, Geno Smith or Dak Prescott at home versus Green Bay?
I take Dak. I just trust Dak to, even in a bad game.
I would take Geno Smith. Dak against Green Bay with no CeeDee Lamb. Give me Geno Smith. Geno Smith or Tua versus the Jets?
Geno probably.
Geno or Trevor Lawrence at San Francisco?
Probably Geno Smith.
Geno or Michael Penix at home versus Washington?
Geno.
Geno or Jackson Dart? Last one.
I'm playing Jackson Dart.
Yeah, no thank you. Not versus LAC, not this week. I feel fine starting him. If you've got to throw him out there, this is a get right matchup. It's versus his Bears defense. Like I'm not talking about Geno for the remainder of the season, but versus this Bears defense, it's a good spot for him, man.
No, it is. It certainly is. But that's where I just struggle with Geno, because it just feels like he can give you a lot and he can give you absolutely nothing, which you could say about a lot of quarterbacks for sure. But it just seems like through 3 weeks, the range of outcomes for him is so wide that I just
for sure.
I'm willing to run that risk, but especially when you compare him to a player like Lawrence or a player like Dart, like, do you want to lean into a potential rushing floor for those guys that you're just not going to get from Geno? Things kind of all fall apart.
What rushing floor am I getting from Trevor Lawrence?
I'm saying against a defense that's very strong that can generate pass rush, he may be forced to run the football a little bit more than he would normally.
No,
you can scoff at it, but you're getting nothing from, like, Geno's not running. So
I don't know. We know you know what he's doing. He's throwing the ball 50 yards downfield 20 times a game.
Yeah, and he's doing it with moderate success. Would you even say moderate success?
Dude, what is
you're just banking?
What is Trevor?
What am I like?
You're telling me
I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback. I'm just saying that, like, you're betting on everything, right? You're betting on Geno, who's been, he's been really, really poor at times this season. And third in the NFL. He had a 3 interception game, but other than that, he's third in the NFL in yards. He's throwing the ball, like 35 times per game, man. He had 3 picks versus the Chargers. Outside of that, he just threw for 3 touchdowns versus Washington at 290 yards. Yeah, and that was a lot.
See
of
what I'm saying?
Time though. Do you expect this game to be as garbagey? That was really garbagey.
Yes.
See, I don't think the Bears are that good. Like, the Bears aren't playing Dallas this week.
Dude, you don't have to be good for it to be garbage. How many times do I have to tell you do you not know how bad these defenses are?
Yes, I know how bad the defenses are, but I don't. Again, I think you're overreacting to what you saw from Caleb Williams this past week. He's not playing Dallas this week. He's playing the Raiders, and they're just as bad. They are bad, but they are not as bad, right? They're not as bad. They're not as bad, right? They are third in the NFL in rushing defense. I don't know how, but they are. So they are bad, but they're not as bad as you think they are. And they're certainly not as bad as Dallas. So it is a big difference. Like, to be as bad as Dallas is, like, so in terms of drop back EPA, right? Drop back EPA, Dallas is a 0.397 and Vegas is a 0.23.
What does that even mean?
Now, again, on a ranking, it's only 5 spots, but it's drastically different in terms of the numbers. They allow significantly more yards on a per play basis. So that's the difference. And so I'm not saying that they can't blow out the Raiders.
For the seventh time,
okay. You're in on Geno.
Defense is bad.
You're on Geno.
Well,
okay. There's a lot of bad defense in the NFL, right? You're talking about Trevor Lawrence and how bad he is. What does this San Francisco 49ers defense look like without Nick Bosa? Without Deommodore Lenoir, who may not play in this game?
So you love that T-Law. Let's talk about it. How much? So we'll talk about it then. Since their T-Law blow-up game, put something to it.
I think T-Law could have a good game, yeah. He's going to have a good game because I think the rush defense of the Niners is stronger than their pass defense, especially because they're banged up in the secondary.
T-Law top 5?
I wouldn't go top 5. I think he can be top 12, though. I think he's got just as good of a shot of being top 12 as Geno does. And I think he has a little bit less downside, personally.
Yeah, I don't know. Less downside?
I think he has less downside, yeah.
I think you're just saying stuff now. How does he have less downside than Geno? Go ahead.
Doesn't he have a touchdown? Doesn't he have a touchdown in every game?
Type it in to see what you could go find. Go type it in to see what you could pull up.
So even in his worst game last week, he still had 222 yards, only threw 1 pick. I just don't think he has much downside as Geno.
Yeah. I Minnesota, Pittsburgh. Let's talk about the early morning game.
Oh.
Minnesota. I mean, it's, you get Jordan Addison back in the fold. Carson Wentz is starting again. Jefferson, Hawkinson. Here's the thing. Not all these guys are going to ball out, right, Jay? We can't. It's not going to be Jefferson smash.
Are any of them going to ball
Addison.
out?
Well, the defense stinks, right? We talked Pittsburgh's defense. So Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, every sin on the team, and then you got Jordan Mason as well. Are all four of these guys going to have big games, or are you I'm not playing Addison this week? You probably starting Hawkinson.
Addison.
You
would
would not
play Addison.
Okay.
I don't want to play Hawkinson.
You probably have to play Hawk though, right?
You might.
You probably have to.
Who you have on your roster, you probably have to. But I don't think he's done a whole lot this season either. It was just this week. Didn't he score the last touchdown when it was 40 to whatever it was, 40 to 6, and he finally scored the touchdown this week? I mean, Ray, coming into this week, he had a combined 27 yards receiving on 4 receptions. And then he had 5 for 49 in the touchdown this week against Cincinnati. So it's Pittsburgh's defense is awful, but I don't know if I'm confident in starting anybody in particular other than Jefferson and Mason.
Let me just ask you this, do you have more confidence this week in Jordan Addison or Xavier Worthy?
That's
I know.
tough. I would bet on Worthy, personally.
You would bet on Worthy over Addison? Is it just the fact that he hadn't been in? There are a lot of things happening in Minnesota. You don't have your starting quarterback. They're playing at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's a different. He missed
in Dublin. Yeah,
he missed. Right? He missed a month of work with the team. And I don't think he was. I think he was.
I think he was allowed to practice and work out and stuff.
Okay, he was.
Preseason, he was allowed to play. I don't think he was dismissed from the team or anything. I think it was just.
I just don't know. Once they start the season, was he allowed to be in the building during the regular season, or did he just get?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, because I saw something that Rice was back in the building. Rashee Rice was back in the building for KC the other day. Again, I don't know how all the suspension stuff works. Says he would start Addison. We've got Anahola Panda saying I would start. Aloha Panda said he would start Worthy. And then Waffle House said I'd start Sterling Shepard over both of them.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either.
It's the Godwin.
I don't hate it.
That makes it tougher. Because if Godwin takes anything away from Shepard, he's
I'm still saying the same thing I said last week, Jay. I'm playing Worthy this week. He's back. So okay, Slayer Stacker says Rice is in the building but can't practice. So I don't know. I don't know if Addison was able to practice. I'm firing up that Worthy, dude. This is what I drafted him for. So if I'm gonna go down with his shoulder getting banged up, then he's gonna be in the damn lineup. I'm just gonna play him this week. So I would play Worthy over Addison for sure. But
they're playing Baltimore. Baltimore's awful, man. They're so bad. They've allowed the most points in the NFL. That to me is the difference here. We talked about starting him last week off of basically a week and a half off, 2 weeks off by the time you hit game day.
Yeah.
Now it's been 3 weeks. I think it's much better now. He's been practicing. He's practicing in full. They're going to take it to the Ravens because they're going to have to. There's going to be no choice. Versus Addison, who could be fine. He could be kind of just okay. And I just think the range of outcomes for Addison isn't very high, especially in his first game. So I'd just rather have Worthy.
What time is the game over there? I know for us it's mad early, but what time is it?
It's probably 1 o'clock.
Is it a 1 p.m. game?
They're probably 5 hours ahead of us. So if it starts at 9 Eastern, it's a 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock game.
I don't know how taxing that is on the body to kind of adjust and acclimate to that.
I think for everyone it's different, right?
Yeah.
Everyone probably handles it differently, and we don't know how well each player handles it, right?
No.
But they go there a bit earlier in the week, so they hopefully acclimate. But yeah, it'd be tough, man. If you've never really done that, it'd be tough.
Let's go, Keegan. I'm all in. Keegan said Worthy will look like prime Randy Moss versus this Ravens defense. I'm firing him up, man. I'm all in on that Keegan take. And there was another one. I think I'm taking McMillan right here, but JRich, Xavier Worthy or Tedero McMillan this week. And I know McMillan had been dealing with
He's dealing with his calf injury.
What's going on with calves in Carolina? Chuba Hubbard as well. Calf injury for Chuba as well. He was added late addition to the injury report. You never want to see that on a Thursday. But here's the thing. Sunday, Ted's going to be in the lineup. Tedero McMillan. T-Mac's going to be in the lineup. So
How
Worthy
against that Pats defense.
no Gonzo, right? Still no Christian Gonzalez?
We'll see. We'll see. He may, and I don't think he'd shadow anyways. I just don't think
No, he wouldn't
Vrabel
shadow.
cares enough.
No, not shadowing a
Gonzo
rookie.
doesn't really shadow that much.
Yeah.
At least against these type of players. I'm tempted to say Worthy here, though. I am. I'm tempted to say Worthy here.
You're tempted to say Worthy, okay?
The only reason why is because, man, Bryce Young is just so bad on the road that maybe there's some garbage time. But I don't know if you guys know this, but I brought this up to Ray on the BR show. But Bryce Young is 1-16 on the road for his career. So he's probably not winning this game.
Ooh. Say that again. He's what?
Bryce Young is 1-16 on the road for his career. And that's why the Pats are 5.5-point favorites at home.
That is not good, JRich. That is not good. I'm looking at New England's defensive rank. I know they've got a tough run defense.
Their run defense is third best in the NFL.
Their run defense is legit. What about their passing defense?
Not very good.
Not very good
in the NFL.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe they can cause some pressure and make life a little uncomfortable for Bryce Young. I'll just say this. I wouldn't start him this week. I would find any other, like you cannot, I wouldn't play any Bryce Young, especially if they're down Chuba.
No.
Man, it could get rough in New England, and the total's not high. The Patriots are favored by 5.5 in this one. Not a lot, but we have to talk. We have to talk LAC New York. We just have to talk and put it out there. What are your expectations for Jackson Dart in this matchup? I know there's a lot of people just kind of don't know, and the hope is high. He can get out there. Did you hear?
You know what I want from Jackson Dart, Ray?
What do you want?
I want 100 yards to Neighbors.
Okay.
I want 50 to Wandell.
Okay.
I want 200 total.
Okay.
And I want 40 on the ground with 2 touchdowns. That's what I want.
So you want 200 passing.
Early.
You want 200 passing. Okay. You want 200 passing yards. You want 200 passing yards. You want Neighbors to go over 100. Wandell to get his 50. And you want Dart to run for about 40.
Yeah. With 1 touchdown early, that first drive, get the crowd going. Then he can suck for like 2.5 quarters. Then fourth quarter comes, game's over. Just garbage time, boom, tutty, bang. Get the crowd going once again.
I don't hate that stat line. I don't hate that stat line or those expectations. Seems a little high. Maybe.
What would you set his line at though? Like 175?
Well, let's go see. Let's go take a look at what his let's go take a look at what Dart's passing line is. I bet you it's probably like 180 something. It's probably like 180 something, Jay. I'm gonna look right now.
It is 186 on the low end.
See what I'm saying? Like I know what I'm talking about over here, man. I know what I'm talking about here.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I got 188 on I got 34 yards on the ground. Prospects, 34 yards on the ground for Dart. 34 and a half. 34 and a half.
It's a tight line to say 40.
Okay.
Tight line.
We'll see. Yeah, Kevin put Dart, 34 and a half. I think the Chargers roll, man. I think the hype and the hopium and the enthusiasm, I think the Chargers are licking their lips to go face this defense that has been pretty bad. I mean, I thought this defensive line would be able to cause a lot more havoc and create a lot more pressure than they have early this season. And then, the Chargers offensive front, no Rashawn Slater. This seems like one where even though on the back half and in the middle of the defensive field that they may not be that strong, that if the front four can generate some pressure to make life a little uncomfortable for Herbert, they can keep it kind of close. But the Giants haven't looked good this year, and I think it's unfair to put sort of the savior of this season or of the franchise or the next couple of weeks on Jackson Dart right now.
The coaching staff and the GM, right? Like it's
I
all
think
on Dart.
I think it's a little unfair. I wouldn't play him. I hope he doesn't shit the bed. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope he just doesn't go out there, get the ball to Neighbors. I think they'll try to make things easy for him, but I mean, they're playing against one of the, I'm assuming, and probably would assume that Derwin James has got to be one of the leading candidates for early defensive player of the year. He's been playing really good football for the Chargers in the secondary. I think it's just a tough game. It's a really tough game for an offense that they seem to know where they're going, where the Giants are trying to figure out where they're going. The Chargers know what they are. They know what they want to do. You know what they're going to do. They've got awesome pass catchers. They're developing a young tight end. They're figuring it out by product of no choice with their rookie running back Marvin Hampton. I think the test is just a little too high. Wait until next week for Jackson Dart. I think this is going to be rough.
Yeah, I mean, Chargers are number 4 in EPA per play and number 1 in success rate at 35% defensively, which is insanely low and how good, especially for the teams they've played already to start the season. Like, that is crazy, crazy good. The Giants are probably easily the worst team they've played to start the season. Maybe you can make an argument for the Raiders there, but even still, like, it's going to be tough for Dart. But we'll see how he plays. Like, it's also a good test to see where he's at and how Daboll's going to utilize him to either make us feel better about where we're at with Dart or give us confidence going into that Saints game to say, you know what, he struggled against a good defense, but when he plays a bad defense, there's definitely going to be some more opportunity for him in that game.
Yeah, the coach is so good. Lee said it right here in the chat. He said the coach is so good. Jim has the Chargers humming.
Yeah.
Looks good. The Chargers look good. Do you think Ladd is this a get right game for Ladd? I wrote about it. I think he does get right. I think they figure this just feels like the game to force feed him, to really get him going, to get that confidence going, get that confidence flowing.
And he's that kind of coach too.
It feels like the matchup to where they could go do that. You know what I would predict? If going into it, QJ and Keenan are part of this offense. I think this is the game they try to get their rookie running back and Ladd McConkey going. Let's run the ball. Let's run the ball, get Hampton going. Let's get this offensive rushing attack flowing, and let's get Ladarius the ball. I think if I were going to bank on 2 players this week versus what on paper looks to be a inferior opponent, it would be on Marvin Hampton and Ladd McConkey. I think those 2 get it going this week, Jay.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And I think you look to last week, right, where they made an effort to give Hampton carries at the goal line to get him into the end zone, right?
Yes.
And Ladd's really the only starter on the team that doesn't have a touchdown yet. And I think everyone knows it. And I'm sure there'll be questions in the, during the week media portions where they're like, what's going on with McConkey? He was so great last season. Are you guys going to utilize him in this game? And I think that type of conversation being had around the league and discussions around McConkey and how he's not really doing what we expected him to do. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm totally with you. It seems like the perfect get-right spot for McConkey after 3 tough divisional games where they went 3-0, played very well, much easier opponent, scheme some plays for McConkey and get him into the end zone.
Yeah, I think this is a get-right game for Ladd McConkey. So if you can go buy low, maybe you could do that going into the week. Jay, any other games you want to touch on that really are kind of intriguing you? We didn't talk a lot about Tennessee, Houston.
I say, do you want to talk Colts Rams?
Can I just ask you, has anybody heard anything about Joe Mixon?
Oh, dude, you want to talk about someone that just nothing.
Like, have you heard anything about Joe Mixon?
Ray, I honestly forgot Joe Mixon even existed. If it wasn't for the fact that he's on a couple of my rosters,
I haven't heard anything. Like, is he on the IR that's like he's done for the season, or is he on the IR where he could come back?
So.
What happened to Mixon?
So. I mean, it's honestly what's crazy is that, everything that we had heard, like within our Discord community and stuff like that, was that things were not good for Mixon and they were not. I think the other side of it too is because it was an injury that was away from football. They don't have to disclose as much as to why he's not there. I don't know what the rules are, but because he was put on the physically, it was, I forget what the name of the list is, but because it was away from football, it's a different list than like the PUP list where you're physically unable to perform because of an injury occurred during football. It was an away from football injury. So we'll see. But like, yeah, you Google his name and it's just like, he'll be back at some point. We don't know. There's not a timetable for his return.
Well, some people in the chat are saying, because DeMeco Ryans at his and I want to ask you about him too. At his presser, Jay, they were talking about Joe Mixon, like what he did for the team and everything he did, like almost past tense. So, yeah, he's on the NFI, non-football injury list.
NFI, yeah. But you talk about I think it was like the week 1 presser or going into week 1 presser where it was very, past tense about what he did for the team. And we all remember it. Like, I believe Joe Mixon was, RB2 or 3?
Oh, he was smashing
first, like,
last
11
year.
weeks of the season last
smashing.
year. And whether he was efficient or not, he did his job and was great for the team. But, definitely, it's very concerning with how bad this team looks. And Ray, you talked about Ryans. Like, I don't think he's going to get fired. But imagine if they lost to Tennessee. Like, imagine how hot that seat would get
they
if
already
lost to Tennessee.
Here's the thing, though, with Houston, they already have fired their offensive coordinator that was supposed to be the next best thing in Bobby Slowick 2 years ago. Aren't they at this point where they're going to have to make a big-time decision on C.J. Stroud, and he's going to reset the market, right? Because that's what quarterbacks do. Every contract is bigger than the last one. They can't have a losing season. I don't think DeMeco Ryans has that type of he would not be gone in season. They wouldn't fire him in the season. But if they stink it up to epic proportions, I don't know how you could say his seat wouldn't be hot, man.
Well, it's the hard part because he's the reason why this franchise turned around.
I know.
Like, they were abysmal prior to DeMeco Ryans getting there. He obviously played for the team, has a lot of respect and love within the organization, both as a player and obviously as a coach. You brought up CJ Stroud. I think we all know they need to do better for Stroud. But at the same time, like, you talk about paying CJ Stroud, that's one side of things. Imagine how much Will Anderson's going to cost when he's also due an extension at the end of this season, should they choose to pay him at the end of this season, right?
Who do they pay first, Stroud or Will Anderson?
I don't know. I think you're in the same situation you're in like Dallas, right? Where it's like, do we pay Dak or do we pay Micah? And I think the way that Stroud is viewed in the league and people know he's better than he is, I think you have to at least wait to see if Stroud is the guy. Like, give yourself that time. Give yourself that 4 or 5 years to know, because you still have the same 5 years for Anderson. But I think the problem is that DeMeco's going to want Will Anderson. He's going to want him signed. And it will depend on how much pressure he can put on the front office to get him signed, because Will Anderson is great for DeMeco Ryans. And it's more so, I think, on the GM to figure out that offensive line and how to support Stroud than it is on DeMeco Ryans.
You got to support Stroud. You got to support Stroud. And I see people saying it's not DeMeco, it's the GM. It's the GM. I don't know why they made those moves to gut the offensive line like that.
I'm sure that was a bit on DeMeco, right? Like, you don't trade Laramie Tunsil because there was a clear rift between him and the coaching staff, and there was issues of chemistry and things in the. I don't think that's just a simple decision the GM just makes. I think it's got to be a wholesale.
And that's what I don't know, Jay, because it seems like every team operates a little differently, right? Head coach having input into roster decisions. Some spots, to me, when Vrabel was talking, and I just go back to when Vrabel was talking about AJ Brown getting traded, and he's like, I had no say in that. Like, the GM builds the team. I just coach the team. So what is it? What player personnel moves? Like, who is it? Is it the GM? Is it the head coach? I guess it just depends franchise to franchise.
Every team is different, right? And that's where, there's always the talk so much within NFL circles and in the media. It's about like continuity between coach and GM. That's what wins in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Having a consistent GM and a consistent coach are on the same page. People obviously reference the Lions all the time, right? Because their continuity from the time they got there, they've found the right players, they've developed the right players, and that chemistry between coach and GM has clearly paid dividends for the franchise. Now, again, the Texans may operate differently, but if you're asking me if I'm DeMeco Ryans, who do I want? I want Will Anderson more than CJ Stroud, not because I can't win more games with CJ Stroud, but because I am the architect of one of the best defenses in the NFL. And if I'm going to make my money to retain this position, I need to have a strong defense. And it is my job to get the offense operating at a higher level, but everyone knows the offensive line sucks, and there's only so much they can do behind.
And they have no running game. It's truly CJ.
They have no game, period. They don't have a passing game. They don't have a running game because they have no offensive line.
What did Christian Kirk do last week? Did that help the team?
I don't think he did much of it.
Did that Kirk do anything? I'm looking it up.
He went 3 for 25. Although he did have 8 targets, though. And there was that one deep one down the field, down the left sideline that Stroud just missed. It was close.
I picked the Titans to win. I picked
You want the chaos of what happens if the Texans start the season 0-4. And they're down there with the Jets and Dolphins at 0-4 in the AFC.
I mean,
that would be bad.
Just a nasty
7.5 point favorites. And they score the fewest points in
the NFL. It's how bad.
Points in the NFL.
It's how bad the Titans are. It's their leading receivers, Chigo Kronk. Where is Calvin Ridley? Dude, what the hell? JRich, that's your boy. You pumped up that Ridley.
I guess, yeah. That's on me. Sorry, everybody. I pumped up that Calvin Ridley.
What is going on with Ridley, man? Where is he?
I don't. Where is this offense? Period, Ray.
God.
Like what is Callahan doing?
And at 38 and a half point total. Ward? 38. Oh, no one's gonna blame that Cam Ward. He's gonna get a dude.
Ward's done some crazy shit in his
just for shits and giggles, because I wanted to see. I'm like, man, like, what did this team look like before with Will Levis? Like, I just wanted to see the progression of like when he took over in 2023. Jay, Will Levis's first start. You know what happened in his first start?
You know what happened? The game that they should have lost, where like. Dude, that was the Bears game, wasn't it? Where they should have lost it.
Will Levis, in his first start, balled out. 4 touchdown passes, man. I mean, he looked like he was the second coming. I mean, we're like, we got a guy. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. JRich, over the next 10 games, he had 4 touchdown passes combined in 2023. And then in 2024, it was just god-awful. Like, you talk about a poverty-ridden franchise. Like, from Levis, like, Cam Ward inherited a dumpster fire. He hasn't played good either. He hasn't played great, but what does he have to work with? Like, what does he have to work with? The shell of Calvin Ridley. They went and brought in Tyler Lockett. What are we doing? Aiyuk Manor is the best option that they have on the outside. He looks good. He looks good. Yeah. But Tennessee is awful, and they're still going to upset. This is going to cause problems. If Houston loses at home to Tennessee, this would be bad.
I think the sad part, Ray, honestly, for this Tennessee Titans team and for Cam Ward is like when their 25 draft, right? We looked at it, and you and I, again, you're very tapped in with college. I am less than you, but I looked at it and I said, "Is this really the best you could do?" Like, this is the best you could do to help your young quarterback. Is Chimere Dike at the top of the 4th round? Why is he even being drafted there? Gunnar Helm. Why didn't you just draft Cam Scott?
These are the best.
Was available.
These are the best and brightest minds in football. They know what they're doing. JRich, what do we know?
Alec Eilmanor, great pick, did a good job there. But like, oh man, has Kevin Winston played well? I don't know. I don't watch Tennessee games.
The hell
they
if I
drafted
know.
him in the 3rd round. He's a pretty good college player. But like, I don't get how this is the cast of players that you say this is what we need for our rookie quarterback. Even though
their second round pick,
NFL, offensive line's awful.
Oladejo, the UCLA edge, their second round pick has got 1 tackle, 1 solo tackle on the season, 5 assisted tackles.
Kevin Winston Jr. says he's active.
No counting stats. 0 counting stats.
His game log is empty, Ray.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I'm looking. There's nothing there.
3rd round pick.
This
is the worst team in football, and their rookies can't even get on the field.
Tennessee is bad. They're going to put Jordan Tyson's going to get drafted there from Arizona State. Tennessee is bad. Tennessee is. Somebody said they're missing that Treylon. Should have kept Treylon Burks. Should have kept. All right, Luke said, "Lay off my Titans, man. Stop." All right, Jay. Anything else you want to hit on before we get out of here? I'm gonna make you tell me what happens. I just want universal. We should be in agreement here. Everybody in this chat, everybody watching, we should universally agree. Travis Hunter is benched this week, right? You do not start him in fantasy football. Like,
Bench him.
does he get it going versus San Fran, Jay? Like, does he get it going offensively?
I'm not ruling it out, but you bench him, right? Okay. He may give you 6 for 40. And you know what? Not terrible. I'll take it, but I'm benching him this week.
Alec Pierce or Travis Hunter?
Ooh, Alec Pierce had a great week this week, but I think he's also dealing with an injury, isn't he?
If he plays, Alec Pierce or Travis Hunter?
Alec Pierce if he plays.
Sterling Shepard or Travis Hunter? We're going desperation plays here. There's no nothing.
Shepard, even if Godwin plays.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah,
Sterling, even if Godwin plays.
Keon Coleman or Travis Hunter? They're 100-point favorites versus New Orleans.
Yeah, Keon Coleman all day.
I'm looking for some other. Here goes one, JRich. Here goes one. Tyquan Thornton with Xavier Worthy back or Travis Hunter?
Come on. It's Tyquan by a mile. He's actually getting targets down the field.
Luther Burden versus Las Vegas or Travis Hunter?
Ray, honestly, man.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
It's Luther Burden. Why are we not buying into Luther Burden right now? Why can't he have, again, he's not putting up 100 yards again, most likely, but
no.
Why
because he's the fourth option in Chicago.
Scored the second touchdown, didn't he?
He's the fourth option, though. He didn't do anything else after that.
His targets have gone up every week. 1 target, 2 targets, 3 targets.
Oh, my.
Would you rather?
Let's go.
Would you rather?
Let's go.
Would you rather Travis Hunter or a guaranteed 4 targets for Luther Burden against the Raiders? A whole game of Travis Hunter. The possibilities are endless. Or 4 targets in Ben Johnson's offense.
I was going to say 4 Ben Johnson, Luther Burden targets, or a full game
from Travis Hunter.
A full 30 snaps from Hunter.
What do you want, Ray?
One more week, JRich. One more week.
Hunter for one more week. Okay.
I mean, I'm not starting him, but if I had to pick between Burden or Travis Hunter, I would go Hunter one more week, Jay. One more week if I had to pick between the two. If I had to pick between
Hunter or Tesla this week.
Hunter or Tesla? I would
Tesla. Come on, he's got a one-handed touchdown in him against the Browns.
I would take Hunter. I would take Hunter over Tesla this week. I'm looking at the chat.
Hunter or Dantayvion Wicks? Starting Golden, starting Dubs.
You're starting Golden. You're starting Golden. You're starting Golden. This is Golden blow-up game.
Everyone's calling it, so he's gonna go 0 for 5 this week because everyone's saying it's the Golden game.
Okay, Jorge said I'd go Burden over Hunter, Hunter over Tesla, and Wicks. I would go Hunter over Wicks as well.
Damn, no love for Wicks.
I'd go Hunter over Wicks too. I would go Hunter over Wicks too.
Wicks will give you 4 for 30, no problem.
Jimbo's going cross-positional. Hunter or Woody Marks?
Oh God. I'll just take
I would take Woody.
Woody Mark is.
Woody got an uptick last week, man. Woody got an uptick last week. I mean, it's not great.
Is it a Luther Burden uptick?
It's Burden-esque.
He got 1 more target.
I was gonna say it's Burden-esque
and 6 more carries.
That's what I'm saying. It's Burden-esque, but it was a little more. I would take Woody this. They got to do something. Nick Chubb looks bad. Nick Chubb looks bad, Jay.
He is bad.
They need to do something.
I think Hunter over Woody, but it's very close. It's sad enough. It's very close.
We didn't touch on anything, but are the Commanders? Are you just not fooling with anybody? If McLaurin is out, are you just not touching anybody except Krosky Merritt, and you're just hoping that he gets in the end zone?
Oh, I'm not starting Krosky Merritt. There's no way.
You're not starting Krosky
all week. He hasn't practiced.
Is he playing
all week? Well, he may play, but he hasn't practiced all week, and he's already splitting a backfield with 2 other running backs that aren't anything special, right? So it's just, for me, it's a complete fade on Krosky Merritt. Like, it's no different. What's the difference between starting Krosky Merritt and starting Antonio Gibson this week? And nobody's starting Antonio Gibson. Nobody.
Man, you go to worst case scenario, man. Krosky, Merritt, and Gibbs.
It's a three-headed back. It's the same reason why I don't love starting Henderson. It's a three-headed monster. They're all going to get some opportunity. Now again,
Henderson was first up in them drills in practice.
Don't get me started, Ray.
I'm just telling you.
Don't get me started.
I'm trying to get you going. I'm trying to get you going.
Am I gonna bet his receiving yards for the fourth week in a row?
They flat out. He was first up in the drills in practice. Get Ramondre out of the way.
17.5. Fuck me. I'm gonna go bet that right now.
17.5 yards over for Henderson. Right. That's his receiving yard line.
He's cashed his receiving yards line every week.
Hold on. Let me go take a look here.
He's probably made me over $1,000 already this season.
Hey, I think I'm gonna take that Hendo because no Mondre, right? Hey, I think I'm gonna go hit that.
No.
Well, I'm saying if he's
be careful with it.
If he's replacing some of the Mondre stuff, that's been the pass catching back. I'm betting this right now. I'm going Travion Henderson over 17.5 yards. I need another lock. Give me a lock, JRich. Give me what game do you feel like there's just a lock off the top? Because I'm building this slip out right now. Now the show is completely off the rails. We're just betting.
Why don't you do James Cook?
James Cook? You want a touchdown for Cook?
It's got to be.
Nah, it's juiced down.
It's going to be low.
Dude,
it'll be super low.
It's pushed down. I'm not getting a lot here. I need something else.
Yeah, you're getting 200. What do you want the yards at 74?
Prospects got it at 75. 75 and a half.
That's fine.
75 and a half is fine.
Or unless you're worried about, or do you want to go Lamar's passing yards?
Lamar's passing yards
are at 221.
All right, let me go Lamar. Let me see what we got here. We got 225 here, man. They're pushing it up on me.
Yeah.
Versus KC?
That's about what it's at.
Versus KC?
Who else is going to bomb it? Who's going to bomb it this week? Do you want to go Love?
Ooh.
Can you get Love for 2 touchdowns?
Let's go Love. I'm not going 2 touchdowns on Love, Jay. I can't go 2 touchdowns on Jordan Love. I can't go 2 touchdowns.
But that's probably what you'll get, though.
It's too low. It's too low.
228.
Can I go Love 5.5 rushing yards?
I don't know if that's good. Maybe
you don't like that. Let me go look at Micah.
What else?
Let me go look at Parsons.
Micah?
Now we're just.
They'll definitely have Micah.
1 sack. That's it. Jay.
I mean, everyone's gonna take it, right? Like
I gotta do it.
Take it.
All right, I'm going Micah sack. I've got Henderson over yards. I'm putting a hundo on this, JRich. 1 to win 3. Let's go.
Okay.
We got it in. We ran it. We built that. The show took a little turn here, but lines are too good. Why don't you
take the Hertz line? You could have used the Hertz promo.
They won't let me put a hundo on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's max 20 or max 25.
Yeah, I'll just do that later. I'm not going to build that out for 2 picks. I'll save that for like some 5 flex, just YOLO ticket. I'm not going to do that for just 2 picks. I don't like. I don't like big parlay slips. I'm not big parlay Ray. I just 2 picks. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Okay.
I feel you, man.
Poof. Sorry, show went off the rails. Hit the music, JRich, so we can go bet. Adam saying, epic show. Friday shows are great. Feel a little freaky. Somebody said that Ramondre over Jared Goff passing. Yeah. ETN carries, Butte season. We appreciate y'all. Hey, JRich, this is loud. I can't hear myself. Let me turn this down. Good Lord.
Well, that's because your audio is super loud.
Mine is? No,
I think in your headphones, yeah.
Well, yeah, because the people were saying they couldn't hear you. Neither here nor there. Full week of shit on the channel. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure y'all wake up every single time with us right here at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jay, I think I'm going to put out a little college football piece today. There's a lot of good matchups this weekend. I want to see some Ty Simpson play. I want to see Drew Aller get back on the field. John Mateer, QB2 out. Thumb surgery, draft stock about to go down. If Nussmeier loses to Ole Miss, his draft stock's about to plummet. We got a good weekend of football. We appreciate every eye, every ear whether it's the podcast feed, here live. JRich, anything you want to say to people before we get out of here?
Nah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Make some bets, win your fantasy matchups, and we'll see you guys on Monday. We're out. Peace.
Much love.